What is going on, guys? So today I'm going to be showing you around this project that I just made in Unity. Basically what this is a VR game. I guess you could call it a game. It's very simple. You've got these red and blue blocks that you can build with, and you can pick them up with the controllers, and you can delete them and you can create new ones. My end goal for this work is to create a CAD program for virtual reality, but obviously that's a long way down the road. What we have here is you can see that there's a blue box kind of on the ground here, and that's the play area that I've mapped out for my room. I coded these little blocks. You can see there's some blue ones and some red ones, and basically what these do is they're physics objects, so they're affected by gravity, and you can pick them up and drop them with the controllers. They're pretty cool. You can even throw them with the controllers, which was really interesting getting that to work. So the physics carries, or the velocity carries over from when you're holding it with the controller. It's not just tracking the controller, but also tracking the controller's velocity, and it's going to keep that. It's pretty cool. So those are basically the cubes. You can pick up and stack them and move them around and throw them at each other, and it's pretty cool to play with those things. And then I've got this little box over here. You can see it's a black box with like a little red thing inside, and that's a trash box. If you drop a cube into that red thing, it just gets deleted. So if you build something and you have too many cubes and you want to get rid of them, you can drop them in there to get rid of the cubes. And then you pull a trigger button on either of the controllers, and it spawns in a new cube at the controller. I wasn't sure how to differentiate between the controllers, so right now both controllers will spawn a cube at a single controller. So it doesn't matter which controller I pull the trigger on, it always spawns the cube at the right controller. So that's a problem I'm going to have to work out before I can actually do really anything useful with them, because I need to be able to have some controls on one controller and some controls on another, and right now I don't know how to do that, so hopefully I can figure that out pretty soon. That's a problem. Anyhow, so the way I'm spawning in new cubes, I lost track of this, is under the ground there is another plane under here, and there's another cube, and basically this cube I think has some code, or no, actually this cube doesn't have any code. This cube is just sitting there. It's basically exactly the same as the other cubes. I just know that it won't be destroyed by that little bucket thing, so it probably doesn't matter if it's destroyed or not, but I just did that. And anyhow, I've got some code in here. Here's the code. So basically this little piece of code right here, if the trigger button on the controller is pressed down, then it will debug log controller pressed. So that basically just means it'll log controller pressed in this little thing right here. As you can see from one of my past tests, it has logged it quite a few times. Anyhow, so it'll log that, and then it will instantiate or make a copy of that cube, and this is basically saying game object find with tag spawner cube, and the tag, you can see the tag for that cube that I've selected is spawner cube up here, and so it'll make a copy of spawner cube. And then here, this is for the location, and to give it a location, I said game object dot find game object with tag controller. And right now, only the right controller has the game object tag controller, so it'll spawn at the right controller. And then dot transform dot position, and then quaternion dot identity. I don't know how to pronounce it. But basically that means to set it with no rotation. So it's the exact same configuration rotation as that cube down there. I'm sure I could, this would be an interesting one, make it go to the same rotation as the controller. That's about it for that code. or that part of the spawning code. There's a lot of code here, obviously. Most of this has to do, like all of this stuff has to do with picking up the right cube, making sure that you get the closest item. So the closest item right here. That basically, so you know, if you're trying to pick up a cube, then you pick up the closest cube to the controller. You know, if there's two cubes right next to each other and you're trying to pick them up, that's basically what that's for. And then this is the rigid body for the cubes, you know, the physics. You got velocity factor, rotation factor, this is angle stuff. Yeah, basically just a lot of stuff. Oh, this is the deletion code. So void on trigger enter collider other if other dot compare tag. So basically, if the cube goes in another object, or actually I don't know, maybe it's just collide with another object, and if the other object's tag is deleter, then the game object dot active equals false. So I guess that just kind of deactivates the game object. That's I guess what it does, it just deactivates the cube. It doesn't delete the cube, because if I delete one of these cubes, I found that all the other ones just stop working. I'm not exactly sure why that is, since I'm very new to Unity and C# as a coding language, but basically that's what that does. Anyhow, that's about it for the code. I guess I could show off the game now. And here we go in the world. I will put on the headset and continue talking. So here we go. Whoa! What just happened to the controller? There we go. There's my controllers, just taking a little bit to initialize. So that's the headset. That's usually my test to see how well the controllers are tracking. So if they bang together in real life and the models bang together in the virtual world, then I know they're tracking pretty well. Looks like they are tracking pretty well. There's a little bit of space there, but that's usually just how it is. It's good enough where you can't tell. So see, I've got these little side buttons here. I guess you can't really see them in real life, but it's basically, I guess I'll point to it with this. It's that little thing right there that I'm pointing to. They're kind of for my middle finger, and now pretty much just my middle finger sits on those buttons. And then you got these, you can see the triggers right there working, spawning cubes. And my thumbs will sit on these pads here. Yeah, that's about it. So I can use these side buttons to pick up the cubes, as you can see. And I gotta be careful because my desk is in the way here, but I can release and let the cubes fall and it'll disappear, as you can see there. And pick up these cubes as well and drop them into there. And you can see the shadows are quite nice. Very nice shadows. But so I can take blue cubes, drop them in. The only thing is I can't spawn blue cubes yet. Right controller. Right controller, wrong hand, I guess. The only thing is you can't really spawn blue cubes yet because I haven't assigned that a button. Hopefully I can get it so maybe the left controller will spawn red cubes and the right will spawn blue cubes. But that's a future project to do. I don't know how to do that yet. But as you can see, I can pretty much create as many cubes as I want. All the cubes in the world. I can also pick up a cube, and while I'm holding it, I can hit it through other cubes like that. That's a feature. Two cubes, like I was saying earlier, if two cubes are together, it'll pick up the closest one. You can see that here. So I'm just going to pick up the nearest one. I can pick up two cubes and bang them together, and you see they won't they don't really have a problem with that, which is nice. They're not going to just phase through each other. That is interesting though. I can, what happens if oh, that is strange. Okay. Did you you see that? So it looks like I can rotate another cube around a bunch, and instead of going back to its original position, it'll just go back to the nearest position, or something like that. Well, let's see. Oh, maybe it does. I don't know. It just looked funny. So you've got that. Yeah, but it'll rotate around completely. It won't go back the other way or anything. That's an interesting feature. Actually, I think I know where in the code that is happening, but that's just kind of an interesting thing. It doesn't spring all the way back. But yeah, I can delete all the cubes I want. I can throw some blue cubes in there. If I want to, I can easily build something. I will demonstrate building right now, I guess. Might as well. So I'm going to kind of make an open space. And I will spawn in a bunch of cubes in a line. And just kind of make like a tree. I don't know what I'm doing here, but you can see there, but I can do that, and the second cube will hold the first one on, which is quite nice. So I can build a wall. Sorry, let me just get untangled from the cable. I can build a wall like this. It's pretty cool. So that just, I guess, demonstrates the wall building feature. You know what I should do is spawn in like a really heavy, dense sphere, and so I can pick that up and kind of just throw it to the wall. That would be a really neat feature to add as well. This really isn't the whole goal of me learning VR. Again, I'm trying to make a CAD design program, but obviously that is extremely advanced, and I'm still at a very beginner stage. But hopefully, you know, but maybe by Christmas I can start getting something. I don't know. That's 4 months. Yeah, hopefully 4 months will be enough. I actually don't know how long it'll take me. Maybe it'll be a couple weeks. Maybe it will be 4 months, but we'll just have to see based on the timeline. We'll try to upload more coding videos. If I get enough requests on this one, I will be happy to make a tutorial on how to make this level that I've done right here. That would be a really fun project to make. Or a video to make, because I had a lot of fun making this level. So let's see how high I can get with this wall. I think I can get one last row. Nope. Wait. Is it holding? I'm gonna have to see this. I have a little bit of room here. Would you look at that? These blocks at the top are almost not at all. This is crazy. Okay, well, that is very unsteady. I don't think that would be approved for just about anything. And there we go, there's my wall falling down. I was kind of hoping I could knock that down with the block. Maybe if I do a really quick rebuild, but maybe I'll just time lapse these. Aww. Okay, I don't want to build anymore because I feel like it will almost certainly fall over, but pow, pow. And that is the castle destroyed. So anyway, thank you for watching. This was a lot of fun to make this project. I don't know, new channel, hit the subscribe, get liked, like the video, get subscribed, hit the bell button. Actually, you probably don't want to because I make terrible content, but